This is Rito, and today we're taking a look at another WARCRY 2.0 faction. This time it's Disciples of Tzeentch, the demon kind. So, awfully sorry for not uploading yesterday. I came out of work at 9 p.m.-ish, and I didn't really feel well enough to record after that. So, anyways, let's get right into it. We're going to be looking at the new units, how their stats are, how effective they are, then at the new abilities the faction gets, and last but not least, we're going to look at a list I would propose for this faction. So, for the Tzeentch Demons, we only got 2 new models. This is by far the worst we've seen so far, so not that exciting there. We get the Flux Master. He comes in at 250 points. He's a leader option. Very expensive, more expensive than any of the other units in the warband so far. Movement 12, which is very good, very fast. Toughness 3, 25 wounds, so pretty survivable. Toughness 3 is not a lot, but 25 wounds will keep him around, and 12-inch move is pretty good. He's got a melee and a ranged attack, but the melee attack is very poor, so we're looking at the ranged attack, which is 10-inch range, 2 attacks, strength 3, 3 damage, 6 crit. So this is basically the same attack profile that most mages in other warbands get. So we've looked at a lot of these. The one difference is that it doesn't have 7-inch range but 10-inch range, so it's slightly better than that. But still not great damage output, especially for 250 points. So for this guy to be worth it, he's going to have a very good ability. Then we've got the Change Caster. He's a lot cheaper, comes in at 180 points. And you can see right away why that is, because he's only movement 4. So obviously on foot instead of like flying. Toughness 3, 22 wounds, so a bit more squishy, but still decent. Range of 10 also, 2 attacks, strength 3, 3 damage, and 6 crit. So coming in at the same kind of attack profile that the Flux Master has. He's just a lot slower. So how do these guys look points wise? Well, the Flux Master, you're not going to be surprised to see, is horribly bad in terms of damage output. That's because he costs a lot of points and only deals low damage. The Change Caster is slightly better because his damage output is the same, but at least he's cheaper. So you're not bringing these guys for their damage. What are you bringing them for? Well, they are both acceptably tough, although the Flux Master is not tough enough for his points value. He's also not good there, so again you can see bad damage, bad survivability. There's going to have to be something very good about him. The Change Caster is acceptable in his terms of survivability. Not great either though. Keep in mind though that both of these are ranged options, so ranged doesn't show in the damage per point value and so on. It gives them a small boost. However, the Flux Master you can be pretty sure is definitely overcosted. Anyways, let's look at the abilities. The normal abilities haven't changed at all, so we've still got the double that adds the value of the ability to the strength. We still got the split abilities for the horrors. The same ability for the Screamer, who can pin someone down, and then the quad for the Flamers, who deal damage around them. For the abilities, the Flux Master, so the more expensive of the new leaders, gets one ability for a double. You choose one enemy in 9 inches, throw 2 dice at them, each 4 plus is 1 damage, each 6 is damage equal to the value. That is not a great ability. I've talked about it in the past. It's okay for a double, but it's not great. Definitely not great. So with that being everything he's got to offer, I really don't see why you would want to bring him. I think he's just too bad to really consider. So I would not bring the Flux Master. Then we've got the triple for all the leaders, which is just adding the value of the ability to the value of other abilities people use within 12 inches of them. I've talked about this. I think it's a very, very, very bad ability, and I would absolutely not recommend using this. And then we've got the Change Caster, whose triple is to throwing 9 dice at one enemy in 9 inch, and each 3 up is 1 damage. So this is going to do 6 points of damage on average. It's not horrible. A Change Caster could do some okay-ish damage. 6 damage is not bad, especially at 9 inch range. Like say you have one move action, then you shoot once at an enemy, you should be able to deal 3 damage, and then 6 more with the triple, you would be able to take down one low end chaff tier enemy in that activation. It's okay. It's certainly not good. So yeah, that's all I've had to say about them already. Let's have a look at the lists then. And this is the first time since we're reviewing the new changes that I'd say don't change anything about your list. I think the Flaxmaster and the Changecast are both horrible additions that don't add anything useful to the warband. I'm very sad to see that because I don't think Tzeentch Deamons was that great to begin with. They are one of the very few ranged focused warbands, so they are not bad. Not as bad as you might think from some of their values. But yeah, both of the new options are just very, very horrible. I don't know why someone at Games Workshop seems to hate Tzeentch that much that he needs to give them horrible abilities all the time. Because basically none of the abilities are good apart from the one from the pink horrors you can split into 2 blue horrors. So yeah, that's exactly what I'd focus on. I would bring 5 pink horrors and the horror leader and hope for those splits, hope for using those doubles to split your pink horrors into blue horrors and swarm the field. That's really all you can hope for. And then I'd bring a flamer and an exalted flamer because these guys do have some serious punch and they can take out enemies relatively quickly. On top of that, the quad can be useful sometimes. Like if you have a clump of enemies, preferably low wound enemies, then using the Flamer quad is going to yield some very good damage and some good results. So yeah, that's all I've had to say about these guys. See you guys tomorrow.